Hi everyone and welcome to MTG Adventures. Today is a special video because we are playing in a modern challenge with the Izzet Electro-End deck, as you can see. And so you see the time is about to go, so we'll try to do some good results on this modern challenge and MTGO. I will do a splitted video between many parts, as maybe you can see all the matches. So the first match is about to begin and we will see how we will perform. Let's go. This is first game, first match, and this end looks okay. This end looks okay. We're gonna keep it. We got 2 lands, 2 cyclers. We got Force of Negation and the Electrodominance. We just miss one piece, which is Living End. So what will be the deck of our opponents? Looks like Misty Rainforest cracked for how much? For 3. And my opponent is having an opt. So Breeding Pool opt. For the moment, I don't have any ideas about what my opponent is playing now. So Crashing Footfall is a good step forward. We want to have some information, so we're gonna street race now. Or just play Steam Vents untapped and see what my opponents will do. Yes, I think we're gonna do that, definitely. So we're gonna pass the turn and see what my opponent is on. Prismatic Vista. Opponents looks like it doesn't want to play anything. So we're gonna cycle the riverwinder. We get the Living End, which is a good point. And no, we will take the information first. Another one. We will definitely want to cycle those 2 street races because we want to have maybe another red source. Another Electrodominance is not that bad, but we hoped for another red source and we didn't hit the red source, so we pass the turn. We hope the Force of Negation will be enough to do something interesting. If we are able to hit this second red source, we will be in a good shape. So my opponent looks like he's playing like Simic Snow or Sultai Snow, we'll see. In modern. Yep. For the moment, I'm not too concerned about this guy. Oko, of course, we're gonna counter this Oko. We're gonna counter by pitching out the Cryptic command. Actually, Oko is not big of a deal against our deck, but for the moment, as I'm not able to do something with my Electrodominances, I prefer to wait a little bit. Okay, that means if we hit any lands, we can do something next turn. But for the moment, this is not a really good news because we are not able to do something. We're struggling a little bit with mana. Opponents is attacking us for 1. I'm not too concerned for the moment, even I'm already at 12. We will cycle this Curator Mysteries, hoping for a red source. This is a blue one, so next turn we can go Living End with As Foretold, but I'm worrying a little bit because I think my opponent is playing a kind of a control deck, so I'd prefer to get red and Force of Negation up to play the Electrodominance. My opponent will just play that, I don't care, I want a red source, so I keep my red up. And the real problem here is we are not able to do anything. Oh, my opponent is playing white, so this is a kind of Bant control EU snowing deck. I really hope for anyways, we can just pitch the force. So if we're gonna try that, because why not? We don't have any other choices. I knew my opponent will probably gonna just lick that or come to that. We need a little bit of more gas here. My opponent is full of lands, fortunately for us. Got only 3 cards in hand, which is a good point for us, but we need a red source. Yes, finally, but a tapped one, so we are not really lucky on those things, but now we get a counter spell up. My opponent is opting, no problem. Yeah. Another land for my opponent. Jace, maybe? Yeah. The question is, do we want to counter this Jace? I think maybe we just want to remand it. Or do we want to force of negation? Because my opponent is quite tapped now. And we can keep remand up, playing Electrodominance main phase. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna just go for force of negation on this Jace. My opponent will play some counterspell off on our force, maybe. And that it will be a good point, because if my opponent is playing some counterspells now, we are pretty much sure that we can resolve the living end at our turn. Yes, you can get your Jace. I don't know what my opponent will do. No, just brainstorming, because he gets only 1 card in hand. If my opponent kept like force of negation in the blue card, it's bad for us. We get Cryptic command. It's a good thing. I feel if we let my opponent untap, we'll have some trouble. This Jace, we can't kill it, unfortunately. And it will probably bounce something, but we don't care too much. We will keep Remand up. I prefer to do that for the next turn. So we go Electrodominance on my opponent and play this living end. I think we were gonna resolve this living end, yes. And we get Remand up, and next turn maybe Cryptic up or Crashing Footfalls end of turn. So we are not too bad. Of course, my opponent doing that. If he's playing a wraith effect, okay, that's one of the worst thing we can have now. With the colors, I suppose my opponent is playing some wraith effects. Yes, I think we will eat wraith now. Yes. That's unfortunate. We can come to that. But the odds were pretty high on this thing, so we're gonna remand this Oko. If we eat another living end, it will be good. That's not another living end, but what do we want? Do we still want to get Cryptic up? I think we do. We also can have this Electrodominance into Crashing Footfalls. It's a kind of things that we want to. My opponent tried to put my top, put the on top my library. Do we want to Cryptic this Oko? Yes, maybe just to draw a card. I think my opponents have obviously some counter spells and we want them to use it. Maybe we want my opponent to just go for... Okay, we're gonna just counter and go for the Jace back in hand. Maybe they will accept to have the Jace back. No. Snapcaster for mana leak. Yes. So my opponents use a card. That's what we wanted to. Yeah, Oko is creating some food. That's okay for us for the moment. Tolaria West. We can actually go Living End with transmuting Tolaria West. I think this is powerful. We can also go kill the Snapcaster Mage, go Crashing Footfall. If we go Living End now, the Ice Fan Cult will come back and we'll have Death's Touch, which is not ideal, but we have a big Living End to do. And looks like it's better to kill those Planeswalkers. Even Oko can give us some trouble, and also Jace. Jace will definitely kill the Crashing Footfalls token, so I think we're gonna go for that. Transmute. Search for Living End. And go Living End now. I'm not sure it will be enough to win the game, but it's definitely the right way to do now, I think so. Oh, they got another Force of Negation, so now we are really not in a good shape. But my opponent just Force of Negation the Electrodominance. This is a mistake from him. He should just Force of Negation the Living End, but now, because now if we draw another way to draw something to play this Living End, we will have a chance to do some. Okay. Jace is actually now annoying, really annoying. My opponents pretty much got everything they need at this right moment, so I think, yes, okay, so Teferi is preventing us to playing any of our two Electrodominance remaining. We get one card in hand, it will attack us. So now what we want to draw is just As Foretold. Just As Foretold, other way we are dead. No, so we have two shots to just draw As Foretold. One, this is not the right one. Two, As Foretold, no As Foretold. Okay, this is not a chance, but we'll just see what we're gonna draw. And this is not that. So we conceding the game. We are done on this one. So this is basically you white control with green to play Oko. So what do we want in this game? This is the question. I don't feel these things are particularly good. Maybe Fulminator Mage can do some, but I'm not too convinced about it. Chalice of the Void is not useful here. I think we keep our deck like it is. We don't need anything. This control matchup looks a little bit tricky. We are on the play, but the odds, like the As Foretold we resolve on turn 3, are really low. And we get 4 lands. This end is not really good. But can we just drop it down? I think we... I'm not sure. You can tell me in the comments if you had just kept this end or not. I will keep. Maybe it's a wrong line to play, but we'll see. Actually, I think some lines of my opponent's deck looks really powerful. Like, it looks like Force of Negation got a lot of targets in the deck as all those blue planeswalkers. The problem is, okay, a second one is not bad. So we definitely will try to play this as foretold on our turn. I think we're gonna get mana leaked on this one. Pretty much for sure, but we have to use my opponent's counter spells. Unfortunately, As Foretold is not an instant, so we can't force off negation. Opt. Okay, maybe if, my opponent is opting. Maybe he ain't got the answer to this As Foretold. If we can resolve it, it will be good. We resolve the As Foretold. I'm quite surprised about it, but that's good. We have the Force of Negation with another As Foretold to pitch, and we will have Cryptic up next turn. Bad thing, we ain't got any creatures in our grave. My opponent will try to Oko or Teferi. We will just Force of Negation and get rid of this As Foretold. Oh, my opponent is just scooping up. Okay, I think it's a pretty early scoop for my opponent. But, of course, resolving an As Foretold in this match is really a good thing for me. So now my opponent got... I think maybe we could try Fulminator Mage on the play. Because the oh, okay, so no. We will not do that, because they will just fix their mana with the Astrolabe. And they will probably run a lot of basics as they are playing some snow thing. I'm confident to play it like that. We'll try to keep going like that. Maybe no. Faerie macabre can just prevent my opponent to play some annoying things. Just in case, I will just go for one of those girls. But just to say we tried it. Oh, we got it in the hand. But this hand is really good, so we're gonna keep it. The only thing we miss is just a Force of Negation. But I love this hand. Street Riverwinder is a card my opponent will have some trouble to deal with. My opponent mulligan took 4 cards actually. Okay, Scalding tarn. Pass the turn. Remand up on the turn 2 will be good. Okay, so let's go. 2 cards, going to the end step. And just going for a Steam Vents and tapped. Just cycling that. But sorry, I have to come back in a few minutes because my cat is doing something stupid. Yeah. Sorry. That was the cat moment. We just drew another As Foretold, which is not ideal, but maybe with a Force of Negation up somewhere, you can do something. We'll see what my opponent will do. This Electrodominance living in is really precious now. So we really try to do the things like my opponent is playing what? Ice Fan Cold. Actually, we don't care about this cold. We have the living in plan, so we don't care about it. Yeah, and no risk of getting just a death touch here. So end of turn another land would be good, so we're just gonna go for Curator of Mysteries without fetching first. This is a little bit too much as foretold. We're not gonna fetch, we need another land. And we got it. Probably if we try to play as foretold now, my opponent will counter. Pretty much sure. Question is, do we want to keep Remand or try to pass an As Foretold and use my opponent's counter spells? It's... What can we fear next turn? A Planeswalker? Teferi is frightening. If the Teferi just after, maybe we are not in a good shape, but we can maybe just replay as foretold and going for it. But in our turn, it's complicated. Maybe we should wait. I feel... Oh, this is really tricky. I feel we'll try this as foretold, but we will eat a Planeswalker just after, I think so, and it depends of the Planeswalker we'll eat. Yes, Mystical Dispute is okay. If it's a Teferi, it's annoying. If it's a Jace or just a Noko, we're okay with that. Yes, we take one, sure. So my opponent's got just 3 cards left. Do we want to try it again? For the moment, I don't feel I want to try this again. Maybe the only thing I will do is just pitching that main phase because I want to draw more lands. I will just pass the turn and keep this Remand up. My opponent gets a bunch of lands. Attack As Foretold. It's not the end of the world. And we'll try to just go for this guy. Another Electrodominance is powerful. Another land is good, but the top land is not that we want. My opponent probably got other spells in hand, but I feel like the Ingot... We will try again to go for As Foretold. Because I feel they will just counter that, yes. And we don't care about it because we get 3 other ways to play our living end. And opponent is just wasting all the counter spells he got. Okay. Still no death touch on this thing. We have the Faerie macabre to just answer to a Snapcaster activation. You got 3 cards in hand. The question is how many counter spells left? I don't know. I wish I could just draw another land, will be ideal. Yes, exactly what we wanted to. Because now we are able to do many things. The problem is we have to protect this living end. We get just 1. If my opponent countered the living end, it will be complicated. Not to worry, we just go for this As Foretold. Another Force of Negation. We will accept that. Or just counter it. If we remand that, They have to pitch another blue card from their hand. And we draw a card, and next turn we have double Electrodominance. I think we will just remand this thing. If they use 2 counters on this, I'm so happy. Nope, As Foretold is done. We drew another Electrodominance. And let's resolve. Problem is, if we're leaving it now and they get just a brass, we're dead, so we will definitely not do that. Another land for my opponent. 1, 2, please no Faerie. Oh, Faerie. Okay. We will probably be able to kill this guy. Okay, it works on enchantments. Okay, no problem. That's not a problem, actually. Okay. We want to kill this Faerie. Is really annoying now. One go Electrodominance directly on the face of this Faerie. Okay. They will let it die or not? They got another content spells. Snapcaster Mage is really interesting. But my spell is not blue. What you gonna do? You have nothing to... Oh, Snapcaster Force of Negation, does it work? We'll see that. Mystical Dispute is not working on this. It's really not working. Because 1 blue, my spell is not blue. So I don't see any reason to go Faerie Macabre for now. Because my spell will resolve anyways. It's not gonna work. My opponent just forgot my spell is red. Oh, they go Force of Negation. Another one. Ah, yes. This is really interesting. I love it. I love the way my opponent just played that, but I think I have no answer to that. But the good thing is we know they ain't got Wrath in hand, so we can just forget about this Electrodominance. But the problem is we can't play another one with Faerie on the board, because Faerie prevents us to play the spell after. So I think, unfortunately, we just have to pass the turn. Do we need any way to... No, I think we can just go for this Desert Cerodon. Fire islet. We can play it. That's a good thing. My opponent ain't got no card in hand and we far from dead, so I think this is a good spot to be. And we will have lethal with this living end. Now we have to count, because do I want to crack this or not? I will be able to, as foretold, go for living end. And do I care to get 3 mana up after? Or 2 mana up? Does that make a difference? Depends of what I'm drawing. I don't feel so. I think I prefer to draw something. Another Desert Cerodon. My opponent gets 1 card in hand. Just 1. I cycle this Desert Cerodon. I hope for a counter spell. Another one. Get this. Okay, we can't play counter spells anyway, so 1, 2, 3 for the As Foretold, 1, 2 for whatever. No, I don't think, or maybe we can take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. As Foretold. If my opponent didn't draw another counter spell, that's a good thing. We get Faerie Macabre in case of Snapcaster something. And we just go for it. Please resolve. Yes, this is resolving. If my opponent top decked a wraith, I can do something about it, so I think we're in a good shape, but we'll see. Wraith. Oh, my opponent top decked. Oh no, Jace. We don't care about Jace. Jace is not a problem because he can't just draw a wraith now and play it because he ain't got the mana to do that. So I think we're close to win the game. We won the game actually. That was a wonderful game. I loved it. Actually, my opponent's deck is nice, but okay, we found the way to go through this Faerie and through all those counter spells by being really patient with our just one living end. So that was a cool first match for beginning this modern challenge, and we hope we'll do as good as we just did now for the next match. So, second match of our modern challenge with Izzet Electro-End. We just won the first one match against Bant Control with Okos. And this end looks pretty decent, so I think we're gonna keep it. We are just missing one red and maybe one free spell, but I think it can going pretty well with the first draw, and we have 2 draws with the cyclers. So this is still the grinding time on this challenge. We're gonna keep this end. My opponent kept 2. We'll see what we'll be against. Okay, Spirebluff canal, like our colors, but not a lot of decks like us, so I'm pretty sure this is not the mirror. It can't be, but I will be surprised. So we'll pass the turn. I think it will be more like maybe a control Izzet deck, something like that. Or maybe just Storm. It's possible this is just Storm. For the moment we can't know that. If it's Storm, I'm a little bit worried about what we have in hand. If they go like Barrel or Electromancer now. Fortunately we get those 2 Force of Negation. So opponent, are you Storm? I believe you are. Yes, they are Storm, definitely. So no creatures this turn. Yes, they will take, so they get another cantrip. Serum Vision. Do we want maybe counter Serum Vision? No, we have so much more important spell to counter. But Serum Vision is digging just a little bit too deep for us. Is putting 2 cards on the bottom. Good news. So the trick against Storm is just counter the right spell. So we don't care a lot about life total. So we're gonna play that untapped just because we want to cycle the Card of Mysteries, and if we draw another cyclers, any colors, we can just cycle it. And I think we'll pass the turn. Now we get the second red source, so we need the living end pretty soon. Or just maybe Crashing Footfalls can do it too. We need some pressure to fight what my opponent is trying to do. We're keeping this force of negation for things like just like a big key spell of the combo. I think they ain't got. Do I want to counter the Serum Vision? It's possible. I'm wondering about it, but problem is I can't counter a creature. I think we'll let this Serum Vision resolve. My opponent puts one card on the bottom and one card on the top. Still no creatures. Maybe looks like Storm. Maybe it can be like something like Pyromancer Ascension decks, but for the moment it really looks like Storm. We just gonna cycle this guy, hope to draw something efficient. Sorry, today is annoying day for cats. So the cat will come with me because he's doing all stupid things in the world. We are drawing just another land. Land. That's not bad, but that's not good either. This is definitely bad. We're gonna play, of course, this because it's the third land. Do we want to play As Foretold? I think we don't need to play As Foretold. As Foretold gets some upside, but I don't know if it's an advantage. Maybe it is. I'll just keep those two forces of negation just up like this. Yes, I will try to play this As Foretold now. Maybe we will get remanded. They get 6 cards in the hand. I think we will get remanded. My opponent is thinking. To be honest, I'm not sure playing As Foretold now it's the right play, because get those two force of negation with As Foretold up. I mean to pitch it on the force of negation can be really good, but maybe I hope we can pass this turn, and the turn after we will have just force of negation naturally with three lands, and the other one to pitch with the As Foretold. We'll see what my opponent's gonna do now. If he's trying to go off now, I'm a little bit worried, but maybe we can go through this. Yes, there will be definitely creature. Okay, we can't do anything against this guy. Here is the thing, do we counter that? They get 4 cards in hand. I don't know if it's the right time. I like to control mana morphos. Maybe I'm wrong, so tell me in the comments. I think I will do this. I will counter this thing and pitch the As Foretold. I think it's one of the key spell to counter. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will just go another one and I will be screwed. I hope it's a ritual. Maybe if it's a ritual, they shouldn't go for it. Okay, they are going for it. So they think they can go off with 3 cards. With no blue. What the hell? Why they just play that? I don't know. So now living in is really a good draw. Oh, this is wonderful. We will have living end with this thing up. I think This is really okay. We will keep the Electrodominance up, I think so. We'll play Faerie islet in case we just want to draw. We'll just cast this to get rid of this barrel. Maybe they will be able to go something else, but for the moment we couldn't do better. We're gonna sacrifice this to draw a card. Trigger another one. Do we want some? Do we have to have this and tap? I believe not, so I think we can go play this tap and we'll attack. We got 2 turns clock, actually. And in case of extreme emergency, we can go another Electrodominance living in to kill the creatures my opponent's gonna play. The only thing I should have considered by just playing this thing, this untapped land, is just Electrodominance for 2 to kill a potential Electromancer. It's possible they will go gift end of my turn, and for sure I will counter the gift if they go like that. Yes, they will go gift end of my turn. I will counter that with the force of negation. If they can go off next turn, I will be punished, but anyways, I have to counter this gift. They can't do anything about this counter spell, so they got to have something or just die. Do they get the creature? We still are able to resolve living in. Ritual without creature. So my opponent is trying to do something like maybe do some goblins. It's the best thing they can do now. Oh, looking for 2.5 cards, but this is a little bit heavy on costs, and they can't deal with this attack I will do, I think. Will they play, but they will be able maybe to kill one of my creatures? No, they just conceded. So, nothing to complain, great shape, great match. We managed to go through this storm deck. So, I think the play of countering this Metamorphose was really key. So that was really a good thing to do. So for sideboard, we will put in definitely Chalice of the Void. The 4 copies. Chalice of the Void is not at its best on 1 against this pack, but if we are able to put it on 1, and maybe after on 2, we will really in a good shape. Faerie Macabre is also good because it's against Grave. I think the other things we have are not really useful. So what we don't want? I think, as we want to have enough blue cards for force of negation to go for those 2 Faerie Macabre, we get to get rid of 1 street race and maybe 2 street race. No, 1 Desert Cerodon more. Chalices are difficult to manage. I think we're gonna get rid of 1 Footfall, 1 As Foretold, and maybe just 1 other creature. And we have to go other cards. Footfalls is good, but I'm not sure this storm deck will put many grave 8 against us. Maybe I'm wrong, we'll see. I can get off of 1 Remand. Cryptic is probably okay, but on the draw I think I prefer to get Remand than Cryptic, so I get rid of 1 Cryptic. 1 more card. We get 4 and 8, 9, 10, okay. Okay, we got enough creatures, so we're gonna get rid of one other. I think one street race is the good play. So we're gonna go like that and try to win this second match with this sideboard plan. Or maybe just with our main plane, like we just did before. Being on the draw can be an issue against this deck, but I think we can manage to go through this. Depends on the end we will have. Opponent, what are you doing? Your clock is running. Sorry, we are waiting. Oh, so this end is missing one blue card to pitch this Force of Negation out, but we got really a good beginning of game. So and we got some sideboard cards, so I think we definitely have to keep this. Just miss one blue card. Just miss some cyclers also, but I think Faerie Macabre is really important to keep in hand now. Another living in is really not what we wanted, but for the moment, the plan is really go Electrodominance, Crashing Footfall, end of the second turn of my opponent. Of the third turn of my opponent. They'll go barrel directly. And I'm telling you, nothing I can do about it. I just can't kill it with a living end. But the problem is I ain't got another Electrodominance. So I think maybe they can't go off. I also can go Faerie Macabre, living end now to kill this barrel. And hope for another things to play this Crashing Footfall. It's a little bit less powerful, but maybe we can just die on next turn. Is Faerie Macabre enough to prevent us to die? We can also just... No, we want to attack, so... Do I keep this Faerie Macabre? This is the question. I think I have to living in now. I have to kill this barrel. Yeah, I will go for it. Exile this. Go for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel it's more important to just kill the barrel now than try to put the 2 tokens of Crashing Footfall after. Of course, we hope to draw something efficient, but this barrel was too much annoying. Now the ideal draw will be just As Foretold or another Electrodominance. To get another creatures, it will be difficult. Pieces of the puzzle. It's quite good. So what you got? Many of this, so they will take what they will put in the grave. Some things. They can take 1, 2. Okay. So they put Pyretic, Metamorphose. So Pyretic is not hand. Pyretic is not hand. Metamorphose. And so they get Remand, Grape Shot. Okay. Yo. As Foretold is pretty good now. As I said. I think it's unlikely that my opponent is able to go off next turn unless they just top deck creatures, which is possible. But anyway, we can't counter the creature. I think our odds to win are better if we just go for this Crashing Footfall now. Because they get remanded, we don't want to be remanded and something like that. And we yell for this turn because we ain't got anything to do. If they go barrel and go off, it's just fair enough. Please no top deck creatures. We get 2 turns clock after with Force of Negation up. Land, please, no barrel. Please, no barrel. No barrel, and we take the turn. This is a good thing. Another land. Do we care another land? For the moment, we don't. We have the Force of Negation up anyways. I don't see what my opponent will be able to do. We will attack them. I don't think they are able to do anything to prevent us to attacking them. From attacking them, sorry. So they are at 8. Our clock is... We are presenting a little next turn. We have Force of Negation up. And this is the big turn. Opponents, are you able to go off now? Electromancer? Ritual. If we counter Ritual, they get just 2 blue, and this is difficult to go with 2 blue. So I think we counter Ritual definitely. But they will go Remand, but they will have no more mana. So we won the match. I think this call of Force of Negation on Desperate Riddle is obvious. So we won 2-0. So this is the second match of the Modern Challenge. We are 2-0 with Izzet Electro-End, and we beat just Bant control, and we just beat Storm. So this is really good, and let's go for the next match.